Since my channel grows slowly, unlike YouTube, apparently, which is the reason why it goes slowly, is because they don't really get recommended, the channels. Because apparently I was at like 493. I was like trying to get more people, from physically to aim towards the channel, but it's not as easy as you think it is, getting followers like that, because, well, most of them are actually, I don't think most of them are channels. I think most of them are like trolls or something like that, or ones that just don't say anything usually, which I think that's the type they are. Now, I just wish that there was a lot of like response from like channels, but apparently there isn't, which is a huge shocker. Apparently YouTube is bad for this. They don't build up the channels. They don't do a good job at getting notified, with the channels getting notified, which is a disappointment, because the funny thing is, it's like YouTube, you don't really get that many people watching you, but take Twitch for example, you probably do get like some people watching you, because if you play something that would attract somebody, because Twitch actually has a category, usually. Now, like, you search up that category and you'd find it straight away that you'd want to watch, but YouTube doesn't have that. They don't have the category thing. They don't recommend people to follow these channels, to actually watch these certain content, and such. Apparently I did before do like music things often, but most of them don't really get that much attention. It also depends on the amount of content that you've done or whatever. I mean, I try, like certain things recently, I don't know, I've been feeling thinking, okay, yeah, this is getting old, that's getting old, and I always try to think of something else, even though it's probably been a long wait, usually, and that's basically gonna take a long time. I think I might do some music ones, when I'm on holiday, I think, because usually that actually happens, and maybe that'll build up the channel a bit more, but again, it doesn't really do much, doesn't build up that fast, the channel, because, years ago, YouTube was a great platform, that built up really quickly. Take, one game that got me by surprise, Little Big Planet. Now, Little Big Planet in the old days, actually, when I did videos of that actually skyrocketed very, very high. That got a lot of people watching. I mean a lot. I mean, not like as many as you think, but a lot of views. It got a lot of views. It got like over like 1K or something views watching. I was surprised on how many were watching that. That skyrocketed my channel to around 200 odd, meaning most of them I didn't really know. It's like I didn't had to do much of anything, like I didn't have to make like big massive quality of content. It just skyrocketed out of nowhere, and I wish that could happen again, but the chances of that happening is far less, compared, because of YouTube's policy changing and whatever, and changing in a way that changes things forever, where, you know, people don't comment or whatever, they don't say anything, they don't do anything usually, and most of the time I get the same ones comment or whatever, usually the ones that actually always say something on my channel, usually, but sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. Apparently they're more my frequent ones, but I never get any, like, mostly anyone new. I mean, it's rare, on YouTube. I'm on Twitch, though, on Twitch, it's a bit more likely to get new people, because, like I mentioned before, again, like, if they see you playing something, usually they go for ones that, you know, like, ones that don't really have that many followers, usually, and they, like, follow. And the reason for that is because they want to join somebody that doesn't, you know, overflood the chat with a bunch of people chatting. Usually they go for ones that have less, usually, which is basically a good thing, because it usually leads to more people, you know, going after it, sort of, kind of like when I did Code Veronica. I think I did that on Twitch at one point, and apparently I think it got a couple in there. I also did it with, like, with REA, that got a couple of people in. I also did it with a couple of other games, and again, that got a couple people in as well. It also depends on what you play, really. It depends on what game's good and what game's not. I think Minecraft doesn't really flood that a lot of people in, which, again, it's not really my fault, because, for one, it's hard to get something going, because as soon as you get bored of something, you have these issues, usually, that goes in a certain direction where it's not as easy, because I know Minecraft usually gets bots. I mean, Twitch usually gets a lot of bots, usually. It's funny that I haven't really been getting any bots on YouTube lately. I think it's because of how frequent Twitch is for the bots, I think. I think it's because more people flood in on Twitch. Like, when they join and say hi and whatever, you most likely get bots, stuff like that, flooding in. Now, apparently, I think I like using Twitch, but, you can't save the videos, which is a disappointment. Now, if Twitch had a video option, to save videos, like, that you've, done in the game that day, then it would be a good idea, because then more people would be able to, like, do videos and stuff like that, like, actual videos. And apparently the streaming for the phone is terrible. It actually is terrible. Doing it sideways is terrible, because it puts strain on your arm or whatever. It's basically, when you stream like YouTube, you're basically holding it that right, but when you're, like, doing it the other way, but, like, with Twitch, it's sideways, kind of like to the side, which is not a great thing, because sometimes you don't get the whole thing or whatever, and you have to, like, lean it, and it's terrible. I tried it the other day with Digimon Wild 4, and it was sideways, and I didn't like the angle at all. It felt weird, because I was leaning against my, my cable guy, my Sonic cable guy, and it just kept falling down. It was that terrible. It wouldn't, like, lean right, so that's actually terrible. I do actually think, you know, I think basically I think that, apparently most of the time I've been on Twitch, right? Apparently then for Minecraft, funny thing is, I haven't had an issue with disconnecting from Twitch or whatever. It's a bit funny. I think they like kind of worked on it or something to fix those kinks or such. Which I think is an example of that, but again, I think they could somehow combine two things together. I think like what if they actually combined Discord with Twitch? Maybe then you'd be able to store all your videos and stuff like that in a way, which would be more appropriate, meaning more people be able to discover channel, like your Twitch channel, stuff like that, and such, and be able to like transfer your YouTube videos over to Twitch. Then your videos will be saved on there forever, just in case YouTube gets the wrong idea. Because I know Twitch are okay with videos on Twitch, especially ones that evolve around music and such. But YouTube are a bit more strict when it comes to video content. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, and you can't do this. That basically means you can't react at all. It's absolutely stupid. You get flagged for stupid reasons. You get flagged from basically false claims. Like, one of them would be false, basically flagging for, spam, which it probably isn't, because that's what one of my reaction ones got spammed for, flagged for. It was apparently by YouTube, and apparently that's a mistake. A lot of people are actually moaning with YouTube right now. They are doing a lot of flags, which type of flags that shouldn't be accountable. I think it's mainly also you basically have the comments turned off. That's another one, which is not a great thing at all, because it's funny, because you have certain videos for like other audiences and such, and what happens? They basically don't do anything with it, you know what I mean? No, I think really though, I think basically when YouTube does stuff, I think really they should look at, like, if there's any horror in that live stream or whatever, stuff like that, like if there's any horror stuff like that, then put it as adults, you know what I mean, like, for adults only, then it'd be more appropriate, because then it wouldn't be for kids. Kind of like if it's a certain stream and it's already got adult content in it at the most, it would just be, for adults, not kids, meaning kids wouldn't be able to watch it. But it's also pretty stupid, because, you've got a YouTube app for like kids, and they don't use it. They'd rather use the normal one. I mean, why? You know what I mean? You've got one for Twitch. Twitch basically is a kids, well, not a kids thing, it's an adult really thing, Twitch. Mostly adults are around on Twitch most of the time. With YouTube couldn't care less. I mean, that was the reason why they made YouTube for kids, because that was supposed to be targeted towards, for a certain age. Now, YouTube was now the main thing was supposed to be like targeted usually for like older audiences, like teenagers and stuff like that, but no. No, apparently they should actually have an age thing on streams and such, like to say, okay, if you're not that certain age, you can't watch this, stuff like that. That's basically what they should say, and they actually should, like, depending on what your channel's date of birth is, meaning if you're not old enough, you wouldn't be able to watch it. If you're old enough, then you'd be able to watch it. Stuff like that. Because it would ask you for, like, your date of birth, and such, depending on your channel's date of birth, well, depending on what date of birth you put your thingy as, that's what it would come up as. Meaning it would show you, you know, what it is and such, as a whole. So again, I really think that I miss the old YouTube. I really do. It used to be great in the past because back then it was easy to make content. It didn't have to physically focus on the bad points of YouTube. Back then you could do what you wanted with YouTube. You could like make music videos and stuff like that. Apparently I can't now. Every single live stream I do, I always try to make sure there's no music in those live streams, which is not a good thing. And then when it comes to Twitch, on the other hand, you can just do what you want. They actually don't care, to be honest, because, you know, you've got just dance and whatever, and just sing and stuff like that, and that's got music in it, and they don't get accounted for that, which is basically a good thing for not getting, you know, their thing taken down. I mean, because apparently it's fair use. So apparently Twitch understands fair use at this point, at the moment. So if only YouTube understood that, at this point. I mean, that's the reason why YouTube is not as good as it used to be, and the reason why the channels are not growing like they should. It's also the reason why, you know, I get frustrated most of the time with my, you know, some of the content I make or whatever. Like, they don't get a lot of views like I expect them to, and they really should be getting a ton of views, and they don't, which is pretty sad. So it's highly disappointing to see something like that happen. Yeah, one of these days, I think YouTube's platform is probably just going to die one day, and I can just see this happening. I think it will actually die one day, because I know that the CEO is ruining it at the moment. She's doing a bad job at running the platform. She's focusing certain things on kids. Most of it's around the kids and whatever, because you can't do any of this shit on YouTube anymore. You can't do any of that crap on YouTube anymore. Apparently it's more of like a sensing platform at this point, which is why most have to be careful on YouTube now. Can't really do much of anything. It's kind of sad. Like, certain things I can't do anymore. I wish I could, like, record performances of certain things, or, like, you know, record, like, a Halloween party with music or something like that, and I can't because, again, it's YouTube's policy. So I can't do that. It is a shame because, I mean, if only it allowed it, then, you know, it would have been fine. It's also, like, you can't even, like, I don't think you can mess around with any musical instruments or whatever. I don't think, because, again, that's probably linked towards music or whatever. So, like, you can't even strum a guitar, you know, and mess with it, but, like, if you weren't actually playing any songs or whatever, again, I don't think you're allowed to do that either. It's pretty stupid. I mean, that's why I think the platform actually is dying at this point, and I've been a fan of YouTube since my first account. Since my first account was, like, created. My first account is Sophie Eden, apparently. That's my first one. That was my first account I ever made. And apparently whatever day it says on there, that's when I created that account. But apparently for that I had to lie about my age back then because I was a kid back then. But now, apparently I don't know how long it's been going. Apparently I just hope that Twitch, replaces YouTube, or in a way, like, makes it so that you can save your videos forever, on there and such, so they'd be better off and whatever, and you wouldn't have to, like, stream with sideways with your phone or whatever. You can just hold it upright instead. I think that would probably be better, I think. Like, certain modifications to, like, streaming and stuff like that, to make it a bit better, because I think it does need some improvements, I think. So yeah, I actually really hope Twitch gets better with, like, replaces YouTube one day, with making a better, streaming app. Maybe, like, combined with, like, Discord or something like that, so then, they have, like, a thing going, because I know with Discord you can probably just, like, show off anything, like, you can just watch anything without a problem on Discord, as long with, like, other things you can probably do without a problem, like, you can watch anything, watch any movies on there, and such, but Twitch, I doubt it, but music, as long as it's fair use, like I said before, as long as you, like, got fair use going, then I think you should be fine. So, I really hope the YouTube, hope, Susan gets fired. I really do. I can't stand the way she's running that platform, because she's ruined YouTube forever. She's ruined it at the point where, a lot of people are having issues, bots are spamming, on, like, channels and stuff like that, posting dirty things and stuff like that. I think that could be the reason why not that many people are chatting, on videos and such, because of that. It's pretty devastating, at this point, so it's very heartbreaking because of that. So I hope someone replaces Susan as CEO, as YouTube. Someone that understands the fan base. Someone that's not like a Karen, or that, somebody that could make YouTube great again. Someone that would actually make YouTube great again, and add the stuff that YouTube should have, actually had in the past or whatever, but with extra stuff, to, like, make it great. Like, even though the streaming, however, is great with YouTube, it could probably have more. Maybe, like emote bits of stuff, like, you put it on and you can, like, whenever someone clicks on it, like, redeems it or whatever, you can actually perform that action, if, depending on what it is. Like if it said have a drink or something like that, then that's that. Something like that. So I hope basically it gets great. Otherwise it will fall, and Twitch probably will replace that platform in the end. So at this point I don't know if I should stream more on Twitch or stream a bit half and half on YouTube and Twitch, because I don't know if I should do both, like, half and half, because we know with YouTube I don't really get that many people watching. They only, like, before I actually mentioned, I actually just get the similar people watching usually. That's about it usually. And sometimes I get nobody, and having to, like, end the stream sometimes, because of that, due to boredom. because usually I like people showing up, you know. It's fun because it keeps me entertained, it keeps me chatting. And then even when someone's not there, I still chat a lot. I still talk in the stream, you know, to keep it a bit more entertaining. So like it has chatting in there instead of like no chatting, where I feel like, you know, nothing's going on whatsoever. So it is fun to chat in the streams, like if you're playing a game or whatever. So there's that. So yeah, I don't even know what to do anymore. So yeah.